Hey YouTube, this is Kweku from Next Gen Windows, and today I'm doing an app review called NPR News 8. NPR News 8 is the Windows 8 app for NPR, which stands for National Public Radio. What this is basically, it's a National Public Radio as it says, and what they do is they just tell you the news, and then they have little shows that go on, programs that go on throughout the day, like early morning and a whole bunch of other things. Later on the day, throughout the evening, they have little shows. And not only do they have this application, but they do even have a radio station that you can play depending on where you live. In this area, I think it's 88.5 or 88.5 if you like to say it that way. But getting to the app, this is the NPR News 8 app. The 8 stands for Windows 8, obviously. As you notice in the beginning of this whole application, you see this main screen here, aside from the splash screen. You see this main screen here, and what it essentially shows you is the tabs of different sources and subjects you can look at. So NPR News tab, which tells you all the news stuff that they've done in order. And then you can move on over to the Programs tab, which tells you all the programs. Now notice another thing, when I hover over any of these tabs, it actually darkens the words, and that just lets you know that you've hovered over it and you're about to select it. It's almost like a three-stage selector. So when you are away from it, it is white. When you hover over it, it is gray, and then when you click on it, it gets even darker gray, which I won't click on yet. And then when we go to the next side, you can see streaming faves. Streaming faves is basically the streaming channels that they have. So as you can see, the 88.5 that I was talking about, that's this area, the Washington DC area. And then they tell you all the other ways, all the other places that they are broadcasting and their stations, so 93.9 in New York City, and so on and so forth. Now we're gonna start back here on the NPR News tab. When we click on it, it brings you into this other interface here. This other interface starts off here. There's a play button, which plays the actual radio station as it's streaming. It's live stream. It's not pre-recorded. It's the full stream of what they're doing right away, right now. And then it tells you what they're talking about currently right here. And then they have the other past things that they've talked about, the news things they talked about. It is actually going in order from top to bottom, and then it goes to the next side, top to bottom. So it's in order by date and time. As you can see, 10/24/13 at 12 p.m. is when this aired. So you can see all the organization that they have in it, and of course this giant Bing ad that we're all used to seeing now on Windows 8. Now, I want to say this one thing, that NPR News 8, they do have an ad-free version. When you even right-click on any part of the screen or just swipe up from the bottom, they do say get rid of these ads, and when you do that, you can pay for it. I'll actually put the price on the screen below, so you don't have to actually look in the description for that. I'll provide it right away. But when you look through, you can see all the news articles and everything here. And then another thing I want to show you guys is that right here, this purple right here, I won't hover this over so it's easier to see. Where it says this purple thing right here, this says text. So basically what this does is it tells you whether this article has text, audio, or both. So as you can see, it has text right here for this article. So when you click on it, all it does is give you text. It doesn't give you audio. As you can see, it's grayed out and I can't click on it. But when I do go forward, you can see this one and this one. In fact, all of this entire column has audio, and it tells you how long the audio is. So when you click on it, you can see that it barely has any text. It just has the brief description of what they're talking about. And then when you click on it, it starts the audio. I won't click on the audio because I don't have the license rights for it, but you get the point essentially. And then when you hit back and forth, these side things over here, it takes you back and forth between the articles, so you can keep clicking through. You can see this one has another thing, or you can click this top arrow right here. This takes you back to the main article screen. And I'll also show you another thing that I like about this. The one cool thing that I wanted to show you guys is, let's do this so we can knock out two things with one stone. Some articles have audio and text articles, and the text is not cut off or anything. It's the full article, and it tells you the source and everything like that. Some articles have audio and text, so after you read, you can listen to the audio, or you can do pick one or do both. It doesn't matter which one you do. So that's another cool thing that they have. However, the one thing that I do want to note is that not all of these things will tell you how long the audio is. As you can see right here, text plus audio or text and audio. It doesn't tell you how long the audio is. So not every single thing will tell you exactly how long they are, but I can give you a rough estimate based on me hearing this news station a while. Uh, the audio normally is around like 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, sometimes six. But usually, when you're listening to this, you won't really care for how long it is. You'll just want to listen to it to get the information they're putting out to you. And here's an example that I just found of one that shows the text and audio, and it gives you the time of how long the audio lasts. This one particularly lasts 4 minutes and 1 second. So one thing I want to do is I'm going to click on one. I'm going to click on the play button, and then I'm going to hit pause. As you can see, you could hit pause here or here, but I decided to do this. When you swipe up from the bottom after you hit pause or play, you can see you don't see exactly what you're listening to, but these controls at the bottom activate, which allow you to pause and play your thing. And then you can also add the current thing you're listening to the playlist that's on the main screen. So let me click on this and it'll be added to the playlist, which I'll show you in just 1 second. Now that we're back on the main screen, we'll just scroll to the playlist tab real quick. I just saved this thing here just to show you guys that the playlist does work. It saves whatever article or audio thing you decide to listen to this playlist. That way you can refer back to it later on. So you can see the Dreamliner woes expose FAA potential weak spots. That article showed up again because I saved it to the playlist, and then when I click on it, I can get right back to it. And one thing that I didn't mention before in this article is that they actually do give you the how long you've been inside it. So we've been playing this article, or we've been playing the audio cast for this article for 4 seconds out of the 4 minutes. And then when we go back, we can get back to the main screen. Now, when we go to programs, let me give you a brief explanation of programs. Basically, programs tells you what programs they have available on NPR. You can go to their website and view the same thing, but the Windows 8 app just allows you, so you don't have to, use your finger to pinch the zoom or even do all this extra work. You can just view them all here in a nice clean format. When we click the programs tab, it brings you to a nice clean descriptive grid of each of the programs that they have available on NPR. And they give you a description and the title. So the big wording will be the title, and then the description will be the grayer font. And then they give you a nice picture of each one. You can see when I scroll across, you do. And then, of course, when you right click on this screen, you can decide to play what you were just listening to, or you can decide not to. So when I click, say, Car Talk, you can play Car Talk. And basically what this will do is, if they are currently playing a Car Talk segment, it'll play the live section. Sorry, I can't speak. So when we click Car Talk, it starts Car Talk. And then, so whatever you were listening to before you clicked Car Talk's play goes away, and you're now listening to Car Talk, and it tells you how long it is, and it tells you how long you've been playing it. And then they have the other stories that they did for Car Talk previously, and the date they aired right here, and the time they aired too. So that's another good thing that they have. And of course, you can also save this to playlist too, add all to playlist. That's another good thing that you can do. Now back to the home screen. We can move on to streaming phase. Streaming phase basically tells you the radio stations that are available, that they are on right now. So WAMU is showing NPR, it's NPR, so you can click on this and you can play the radio stream from through the internet. It'll be internet radio, but it is exactly what's airing on the radio currently. So if you turn on your radio and you turn on this at the same time, it'll be the same thing. And then you can click on it again, and you can go to their website to look at more information, or you can just look at the MP3 format of it to stream it. Now when we go back, you can see we're back to the main screen, and these grids are actually still there. I mean, the playlist choices are still there. When we click on the last tab, playlists, it takes you to the playlist screen right here, and you can view the things that you've saved on the playlist. As you can see, I saved these 2 things just now. And then when you right click each one, you can select them. And then when you right click the screen away from each one, you can choose these new options down here: clear a playlist, cache playlist, or remove from playlist. So if we clear playlist, they disappear from the playlist and they're now gone forever. And then when we go back and go to the side, you notice they've disappeared completely. And another thing, lastly, I wanted to show everyone is what it looks like when you snap the app to the side of the screen. So when you snap it to the side of the screen, this is what it looks like. Instead of it telling you, just the news things, it tells you all the things you saw on the main screen, but it just organizes it in a list format. So NPR News will take you to just like what you saw before. So when we click on the article, it shows the whole article. You can scroll down on it to to read the whole thing, and then you can click this arrow to go to the next article, or you can go back to the other article, and you can do the same thing. And also, when you right click, you can obviously get rid of these ads. Since this is the free version, it will show this, so that they want you to pay for it. And then you can hit play to play the audio from from what you were just listening to. However, there is one thing that I did notice, and it's a little thing that bothers me with this application. There is something underneath this thing, I can't read it, that it's like they've overlapped. I don't know whether the developer didn't catch this, but it's a slight bug that 2 of the options are overlapped with each other. I think this is the refresh button and this is the add to playlist button. So when you click on it, it actually selects both of them at the same time. So let me do it on this screen so I can show you better. See, refresh stories is here, and then there's a word in the background right here where this U symbol is, and so there's 2 icons there, and I don't know, when you click on it, it does select the top one and refresh the whole thing, but the icon in the background is still there, and you don't know what it is until later on. It could just be a minor little thing. Actually, I've just noticed that this icon is actually the pause button. So when you play something, you can't actually pause it in the snap view because the refresh stories button overlaps it, and you won't be able to select it unless you extend it to the full thing. But essentially, this is NPR, National Public Radio's. In fact, this is called NPR News 8 is what the application is called. You can get it at the Windows Store for free, or you can do the paid version to get rid of the ads. I'll put the price of it below in the description, and it will pop up on the middle of the screen in just about a second. So if you have any questions about this application, let me know. If you have any questions on how to use it, or any recommendations of what I should review later on, or anything like that, just let me know in the comment section below, or just send me an inbox message and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. Thanks, this has been Kweku from Next Gen Windows, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.